Welcome to the Abundance Hack Show, where we are inspiring you to tap into your power to manifest the happiness, success, and fulfillment that you desire. I am your host, Niajae, the Upper Limit Coach. I am here to dismantle your limiting beliefs and remove the blocks so you can confidently live your life's purpose, because life is meant to be abundant. Hey M&Ms, thank you for tuning into the Abundance Hack Show. What are you manifesting in your life today? For me, I feel like I want to manifest some glitter in my life. Sometimes a girl just needs to roll around in some glitter. I don't know if you guys have seen my glitter bath shoot that I did with Wild Artistry Photography, but it was a super fun experience. If you are listening in on iTunes or Spotify or iHeartRadio, I encourage you to go check out the video on Facebook or YouTube, because I am going to add in some clips and photos from this glitter bath shoot. Really fun. So maybe what I'm actually manifesting is just a fun experience, because glitter equates to fun to me. All right, so before I dive into today's topic, I want to ask you guys, how do you like this new microphone? So I was sent this new microphone. I used to use the Blue Yeti, like if I'm recording in my studio and I'm not in an actual location. I say my studio, this is basically my office in my house. But I have this new mic, so check it out. And I know if you're listening, you probably can't see, but I'm showing the box right now. It's an ATR 2100, so fancy, right? So let me know what you think of this new sound. Apparently, this is going to make me sound better. So am I sounding good, guys? All right, so let's dive into today's topic. I am talking about paradigm shifts. And if you're not familiar with the word, or it's not a word you use or you hear often, basically a paradigm is a belief or concept or thought of like the world. And a paradigm shift is a fundamental change in approach or underlying assumption. So basically, a fundamental change in your belief or concepts or thoughts about the world. So this is really powerful, because think about it. At one point, they thought the earth was flat. This was the belief, that the earth was flat. And I guess they thought if you get to the end of it, you fall off into oblivion. So if a person can believe that, or a whole like nation can believe that, and then they can realize this is not the truth, then I think that people themselves can shift their paradigm, basically. And the reason this came up for me is I was talking to a friend and I said people don't change, and then I said, you know what, I take that back. That's not accurate, because I've changed, I've grown, I've evolved. And it really made me think, what is it about me that has changed? Because I'm not the same person I was a year ago. I'm not the same person I was 3 years ago or 5 years ago, definitely not 10 years ago. And it's because I focus a lot on personal growth. I focus a lot on self development to be the best version of myself. But I started thinking about, like, what are some of the things that has really changed about my mindset and my way of thinking? And so I wrote down 7 paradigm shifts that has been really transformational for me, and I want to share them with you. So let's dive in. Number 1 is the belief that if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Now, this is something that I believed at a young age. My mom used to say it all the time. If you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. You know, I was raised by a single mom, so she was that like independent woman. I could do it. I got this. And so I adapted that belief system that if you want it done right, you have to do it yourself. And when I owned my dance and aerial studio, I quickly had to release and shift this belief, because as a business owner, you cannot do it all on your own. You have to learn how to outsource and delegate. But on a personal level, I think that sometimes we're afraid to, one, ask for help, and then two, allow help, especially independent people. They don't like to ask for help. And even if someone offers help, we still say, no, I got it. No, I got it. And I think it's really powerful to notice that. Notice where you are resisting help, because everyone needs help. Everyone needs, and I shouldn't say need, because there's a lot of people that handle stuff on their own, but sometimes I think we make it harder on ourselves than it has to be. And I'm from New York, so I know growing up growing up, you have this belief that like people are not friendly, and if someone does something nice for you, it's because they want something in return, or they're up to something. And so I had to release that, because I believe in the law of attraction. So if you believe that people don't do nice things for you unless they want something in return, that's what you're going to attract to you. And when people are trying to do something nice for you, you're not going to notice it, because you have adapted the belief system that people are not nice and people don't do nice things. And, even something so simple as like smiling at a stranger in New York, they didn't do that. If you smile at someone in New York, they're going to be like, like, what is wrong with you? They may curse you out. Now, I have to say, like, I haven't lived in New York in years. It could have changed. We're talking about change. It could have changed, but this is my experience when I was younger living in New York. So, moving down south and then seeing people be like, hey, good morning, how are you? It really made me see the world in a different way, because there are people that are friendly, there are people that are nice, like holding the door for you, and you know like letting you go in traffic. And there's cities that happens, and there's cities that it doesn't. But there are people out there that are nice, and there are people out there that are kind, that want to genuinely help, and they don't want anything in return. So I think it's really important that we take a good look at how we see the world, because if you see the world as being selfish or evil or whatever the case may be, that's what you're going to attract to you. So being open to people being nice to you, being open to people helping you, being open to allowing that help, and understanding that you don't have to do it all on your own. And I know there's times where like I'm carrying groceries or a heavy bag, and someone's like, hey, do you need help? And I'm like, no, I got it. Or like, I'm trying to open the door when I have all this stuff in my hands, and they're like, do you need me to hold the door for you? I'm like, no, I got it. Because that was ingrained in me that like, you got to do it yourself. And I started saying, you know what? Like, yes, thank you. Hold the door for me, please. Thank you. Like, it's okay. It's okay to allow someone to hold the door open for you. And I know that's a silly example, but it's okay to accept help. And I think that some people don't allow help because of pride. But I think for me, it just was more like, it just was ingrained in me just to do it myself, because I was raised again by like that independent single mom that did everything on her own. So I just thought that that's how it was. So this was a really, really powerful paradigm shift. So I invite you to ask yourself, do I resist or allow help in my life? Do I feel like I have to do it all on my own? And if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, ask yourself, what task can I delegate and outsource so I can focus more on the important income generating tasks? Powerful, powerful thing in business to ask yourself. All right, so let's move on to number two. Number two is time is money. This was a belief that like wholeheartedly I believed in. Time is money, time is money, time is money. So I was always like, yes, snapping my fingers, time is money. Like, don't waste my time because you're costing me money. Like, that was my belief system. Now, one of the most powerful things that I have learned in reference to this was a quote by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, if you've been listening to me, you know that I love me some Robert Kiyosaki. And the book that changed my mindset when it comes to business is Choose to Be Rich. So Robert Kiyosaki is the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, if you don't know this. And he has a book that he wrote after that, which is called Choose to Be Rich. And it completely changed my mindset. So I believe in this book, he says, Time is not money. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So time is everything. Let me say that again because it's so powerful. I want to make sure you really, really let that sink in. Time is not money because you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So time is everything. You guys, this is so powerful. You have to think about it. No matter who you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter what level of success you have, how powerful you are, you cannot create more time. So, time is everything. Time is the one thing we cannot get back once it's gone, no matter how much money you have. So think about Oprah, think about freaking Beyonce, think about Mariah Carey. Think about Tony Robbins, like whoever, insert, awesome person. No matter who you are, you have the same 24 hours in a day. So I had to really realize this, like, you can always make more money. So it made me value my time more. And honestly, like running that business, it also made me value time more because I realized like I'm working 7 days a week. I'm not, enjoying life. And sometimes we get so caught up in our careers and our businesses that life just like it passes us by, and you can't get those years back, especially I think like parents that work really hard when their kids are young and they miss out on like those first few years. I don't have kids, but I see this often, and they're like, no, where did the time go? Like, go back to being 2 years old when you were like super cute and just learning to walk or whatever the case may be. They want that time back, but you can't get it back. So it's really, really important and powerful to really understand how valuable time is. Time is not money. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So really just valuing your time. So powerful, guys. So powerful. All right, number 3 is money doesn't grow on trees. This is something my mom used to say to me when I was younger. And this is probably one of the biggest contributors to money blocks. If you feel like money doesn't grow on trees, you will start to feel like money is hard to come by. And when you feel like money is hard to come by, energetically, you are going to block it and resist it. So when you fully understand the law of attraction, or even if you don't fully understand it, even if you understand it just a little bit, understand that if subconsciously you feel like money is hard to come by, that's going to prevent you from making a whole lot of money. So you have to really tap into that abundance and know that there's an abundance of money out there. A lot of people feel like money is just energy and you just have to tap into it. So this was something that I had to really, really work on. And, there's so many belief systems out there, like, money is the root to all evil. Oh, that's another one. So can I add that to number, can I add that to number 3? Like, money is the root to all evil. I think my grandmother used to say that. And I think that, if you want to be a good person and you subconsciously believe, you're subscribed to the belief that money is the root to all evil, you are subconsciously going to block yourself from making a lot of money because you want to be a good person and you associate like wealth or being rich with being evil. So it's really, really important, guys, that we start to realize our belief systems and understand that our belief systems contribute to our patterns and our patterns contribute to our reality. So if you are finding yourself in a financial bind time and time and time again, you have to evaluate your belief system. If you constantly say, I can't afford that, oh, that's a money block. That's a belief system. If you want it bad enough, you'll find the money. You know what I mean? So, like, it's kind of one of those things where we really have to, and I say this all the time, take inventory of our thoughts. We have to take inventory of our thoughts to really start to understand our subconscious beliefs, because that is shaping our reality. Woo! You guys, I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll. Okay. Let's go to number 4, because I could talk about the money one all day. Number 4 is when people say my better half or other half. Now, obviously, I'm single, but this is just one of my beliefs. Now, I used to think that actually, this has never actually been a belief that I feel like I had to change, but it's something that I hear people say often that I think I just want to speak on. So I never thought about myself as a half, and I never thought that I needed someone to complete me. So my thought on, when people say, "Oh, this is my better half," you're not a half, honey. You are not a half. You are a whole, and your partner is a whole, and you guys are coming together to be 200% rather than you being 50% and them being 50%, and then you come together to be 100%. I think that is, how they say the glass is half empty, the glass is half full. I feel like that's almost like a negative way to view relationships. Now, hear me out, because I guess ultimately it's just a cute saying like, "Oh, this is my better half," but it's kind of like putting yourself down. Like, I'm not a half, my partner's not a half, we are both whole people, and we come together to complement each other. So that's what I want to say. When people look for people to complete them, I think that is a recipe for a disaster. You shouldn't look for someone to complete you. You should complete you, and then find someone to complement you. So you want to make sure that you are doing your inner work. You are finding your own happiness and your inner peace and your security. And then someone is just adding to that. Because if you are looking outwardly for happiness, you're always going to fall short, because happiness comes from within. So if you are constantly looking for someone else to make you happy, that is you being kind of like a half, because you're looking for someone to complete you. But I find it really important that we learn to complete ourselves and find our own inner happiness. And then whoever comes into our lives that we choose to do life with, that's going to complement the happiness we already have. So that's how I see it, guys. I'd love to hear your feedback. So definitely send me a message on Facebook, comment on whatever platform you are listening to. But I think that there's a lot of power in that. And I think it's a lot of power to want to be with someone versus needing to be with someone. So I know I have really unique thoughts on relationships, probably why I'm single. Oh my goodness, look, I'm silly. But no, honestly, like, I think there's a lot of people that need to be in relationships because they're afraid of being alone. They're afraid of, you know, being alone. I mean, really, that's what it boils down to. And so they need it. They need it to complete them. And I think that at the end of the day, are you really, truly, genuinely happy or secure in yourself if you need that? And the relationships that I see where the people are secure and they do the inner work and they are, I'm working on me, I'm working on my happiness, you're working on you, and you're working on your happiness, and then we're going to come together and share our happiness together. And I'm not looking for you to fix all my problems or fix me or make me happy. I'm working on me, you working on you, and I'm supporting you during your transformation and your growth. Like, that is beautiful. What if you could have abundance delivered to your front door? Abundance Hack presents Abundance Box, the monthly subscription box that helps you cleanse energy, raise your vibrations, and tap into abundance with goodies like crystals, sage, essential oils, and more. Go to abundancehack.com/box for more information, because life is meant to be abundant. Number 5 is it's bad luck, or don't say this or you'll jinx it. So I grew up with really superstitious grandparents, and I could go down a list of stuff that my grandma said was bad luck. Like my grandma used to be like, don't what was it? Don't let the broom sweep your foot. Like my great grandmother used to tell me, don't put your purse on the floor, which I still don't do, but she says, don't put your purse on the floor because you'll never have any money. So even though I'm not superstitious anymore and I don't believe in bad luck, we're not even going to risk it. And I carry a really expensive handbag anyway. So like it's rude to Louis to even put it on the floor anyway, but I'm not even going to take a chance with that one. But she used to say, like, don't put your book bag on the floor or you'll never learn anything. You know, I mean, like even silly stuff like don't step on a crack because you'll break your grandmother's back. Like now that's probably just like ridiculous, but I just grew up in a household where it was like all these things. If you drop a fork, then someone unexpected is coming to your house. Like so silly, so silly. Now I love my grandmas. I love my grandmas to death. Like, oh my God. But in my adult life, I'm just like, how silly is some of this stuff? Like feeling like, oh, don't talk about something you're excited about because you're going to jinx it. I don't believe in that crap. Now, if you, again, I believe in the law of attraction now, or I understand it, I should say it, because like I feel like I didn't really know better then. So it just was what I was told. So that's what I adapted. But now that I understand the law of attraction, if you think, oh, let me not say this or I'm going to jinx it, you have already put out in the universe this concept or this belief of jinxing. So the universe is like, okay, you know, like she said it, so now we're going to jinx her, because that's kind of what you put out, or you're almost looking for something to go wrong. So I think it's really important that we stop blaming luck or blaming like bad luck or jinxing for occurrences, because a lot of times we draw to us what we're thinking about, what we're feeling, what we're putting out into the universe. So if you believe in bad luck, then that's probably what you're going to get. But the reality is you probably created that. Like what patterns or what action steps did you take that landed you in that situation? So really being accountable for your actions, your patterns, your thought patterns, and your belief systems, because it's drawing stuff to you. And I know a lot of people believe in good luck as well, but again, I believe we attract things to us. So when something great happens to me, I don't feel like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. No, I manifested it because I put it out in the universe. I focused on it. I drew it to me. And I also took action to create a lot of the good things. Like I plant seeds. So when good things happen, it's because I planted a seed. Now, do unexpected great things happen? Yes, but I'm also really positive and always putting out that positive energy. So you draw that abundance to you when you're constantly putting out positive energy. So that's how I feel about luck and jinxing. And I also feel like anything that's for you cannot be taken from you. So I don't think like, oh, if you tell something, or like people say, oh, if you brag about something, it's going to jinx it. Like, I don't believe in that. If you are excited about something, you want to be excited about it and allow those vibrations to be high. And I think that saying, oh, don't get too excited because it's going to jinx it, that is an upper limit. That is an upper limit. You are capping how excited you will allow yourself to be, because if you get too excited, then you're going to jinx it. So that's saying like, no, don't get too excited because now it's going to be taken from you. That is bullshit. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. That is a form of an upper limit when you feel like, oh, things are going too good, or can't get too excited because then something bad is going to happen. That is a form of upper limit. You are putting a threshold on how excited, how happy, how like just happy. I was looking for one more word. I felt like I needed one more word. How excited, how happy, how successful you allow yourself to be before you say, oh no, I can't be this happy because something bad is going to happen. You guys, if you don't work on anything, that is one thing that I feel like you should work on, because you are robbing yourself of the happiness and the joy and the yumminess that the universe has in store for you. What if the universe has 5 more levels of happiness or 5 more levels of success that it wants to give you? But if you say, oh no, I can't get too excited past this level because if I do, something bad is going to happen, then the universe is like, all right, well, I won't give you these next 5 levels of happiness or success or passion or joy or yumminess. Like, you're capping your own happiness, you're capping your own joy, you're capping your own success. And I really encourage you to take a good look at that. Like, how much happiness can you let in before you say, oh no, I can't be too excited or something's going to go wrong, you know? Like, think about it. And then try to expand your threshold for happiness. Like, say, you know what, I'm just gonna marinate in this happiness, I'm gonna marinate in this yumminess, I'm gonna marinate in this success, and not lower my vibration, not allow myself to pull myself back down. And I think the more you marinate in those good, yummy, happy, joyful, passionate moments, the more the universe is going to give to you. So yeah, you gotta sit in those yummy feelings, sit in them, and don't allow negative thought patterns to pull you out of them. All right, let's go to the next one. Number 6, and this is one, oh, you guys, this is one that I have been working on a lot recently. And I'm pretty sure I did an episode about it like in the last couple of episodes, but I want to say it's my Mexican fisherman episode. Really, really powerful episode. If you haven't taken a listen to that one, I highly recommend you go listen to it, because it may be one of my most powerful episodes. But number 6 is, it's lonely at the top. This was a belief system that I adapted. I don't even know when, but I think it's a common saying out there that it's lonely at the top. Now, this basically is saying that if I allow myself to be successful, I'm going to be lonely. So I just want to let you guys know that you can be lonely and be broke. You can be lonely and not be successful. So there really is no association to loneliness. Success has no association to loneliness. Now, there are people that gain success and then people in their lives start acting different, or they stop trusting people because they think people just want them for their money. I know people that make $30,000 a year and people still ask them for money. So, I mean, whether you make 300,000 a year or 3 million a year, somebody's going to ask you for money, because people always ask for money. So it's not exclusive to being at the top. And loneliness, I know people who work 9 to 5 jobs that are lonely. I know people who own businesses that are lonely. I know people that are super successful that are lonely, and people that are not successful at all that are lonely. So if you say it's lonely at the top and you subscribe to this belief, whether it's conscious or subconscious, it's really something that you have to evaluate and really like dismantle in your thought process, because you're stopping yourself from being successful. You're capping how successful you will allow yourself to be, especially if you're extrovert like I am. So I was capping my own success because I'm like, well, I don't want to be lonely. And this is obviously subconscious, because when I think about it like out loud, I'm like, okay, this is silly. But sometimes our subconscious beliefs are kind of silly. Like on the surface, we're like, that's ridiculous. But like we have these deep rooted belief systems that are standing in our way of the life that we really want, the happiness, the success, the passion, the excitement. And I'm going to say it, the yumminess. I love that word. So, really taking inventory of your thoughts and your thought patterns, because that's going to help you understand yourself better and what could potentially be standing in your way of living that abundant life. All right, so last but definitely not least, and this is a huge one. This is a huge, huge, huge one. You can't have it all. You guys, look, I got chills even just saying that. It literally has become like a pet peeve of mine where people say you can't have it all. Like, do not say that phrase to me, because it woo, unless you want to hear me go on a rant, don't say it, because I have been told so many times in my life that I can't have it all. People will say, oh, you're not going to find a man that is attractive and loyal and faithful and, you know, like all these things. You have to choose. That may be the belief that you are subscribed to, but I do not subscribe to that belief. And if you believe you can't have this, and this, you're not going to get it, because the universe is going to say, well, you know what? Since you don't believe it exists, I'm not going to send it to you. And even if the universe does send it to you, you're going to self-sabotage because you don't believe that it's even possible. So you ever have a woman that's just like, oh my God, he's too good to be true, like something must be wrong with him, and then you're like searching for something to be wrong. And same thing with men. So I shouldn't say like a woman. Like a man can meet a girl and just be like, oh my gosh, she's too perfect, and then he's looking for things to be wrong with her. Like, we do this because we subscribe to the belief that like is too good to be true. But like, what if the universe is like, you know what, I'm gonna send you your dream person, and they're gonna have all the things on your little list or big list, it could be a big list. They're gonna have all the things on your list because this person was put here for you. And why would a person think that like, no, they're not gonna have this and this? Like, why would you believe that you have to choose if this person is meant for you and this is your soulmate? And the same thing with jobs and careers and businesses. You can't, oh, and just life in general, you can't have a career, a thriving career or business, and a family. Who came up with this madness? Like, I don't know who put that thought in anybody's head, but I call bullshit. I call bullshit. I know so many people. Now, is it a juggling act? Is it a lot of effort and energy to balance both a business and a family? Hell yeah, it's effort, but anything that's worth having is effort. Anything worth having is effort. So if you believe that you can't have it all, you can't have the successful business and the amazing, family or marriage, like, I highly, highly encourage you to look at your belief system, because you are blocking yourself from actually having it, believing that it's not possible. And I know there's a lot of like women that focus on careers and then they struggle in relationships because society leads us to believe that as a woman, if you have a thriving career, you're choosing a career over having a family because you can't have both. I call bullshit. Okay. I call bullshit. It's definitely something that I've struggled with, that I've had to really evaluate in my own life, because I am single and I am a business owner, and I had to make sure I wasn't subscribing to this belief and blocking myself from being in an amazing, magical relationship. So, our subconscious beliefs can sometimes be the things that are standing in the way of what we really desire. So, asking yourself, like, do I believe I can have it all? Ask yourself 3 times. I know I always say do it 3 times, because the first time it's going to be a layer of what society is telling you you can have. The second time is going to be a layer of what your family and friends say you can have. And then the third time, it'll be more of your beliefs in your core. So I invite you to ask yourself, do you wholeheartedly believe that you can have it all? And I do. I mean, I feel like I have it all right now, but I know that my magical person and my magical relationship is out there. And I wholeheartedly believe that it is totally possible for a woman to have a kick ass career or business and an amazing, passionate, magical relationship. I wholeheartedly believe that. And I've worked really hard on shifting my paradigm around this because my whole life people were telling me you can't have it all, you can't have it all, and I'm just like, you can subscribe to that belief, but I don't. All right, guys, those are my 7 paradigm shifts. So, really, it's 6 that I've had to shift in my own life, and then 1 that I just feel really strongly about when it comes to relationships. So I hope you found value in this. I would absolutely love to hear from you. If you are not subscribed to one of these amazing platforms that the Abundance Hack Show comes on, definitely subscribe so you don't miss an episode because I have so many yummy things in store. And until next time, love and light. Thank you for tuning in to the Abundance Hack Show. I would love to hear from you. Leave your comments and questions, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our yummy episodes. Every time you leave a 5-star rating or review, I do my happy dance.